Hello. So I just wanted to make a video here, basically just covering a few things here. There's been some interesting stuff leading up here to E3, which is in a couple weeks, and already kind of some pre E3 things being announced, and rumors is always we always get a lot of rumors in May leading up to E3, and I'm hoping this will be a good E3 because last year with COVID we didn't have a E3. And the year before that wasn't really that good with Sony skipping and whatnot. But and this year Sony's technically skipping, but they might do some stuff around there, and that's one of the things I was going to talk about. So first thing is here in the last couple of weeks we've had Nintendo show a new trailer for Mario Golf Super Rush. I believe is what it's called. But yeah, they showed a new trailer for Mario Golf, going a little more over like the story and just some of the modes and stuff. About a 6-minute trailer. So we got that from Nintendo within the last week or two, as well as the new amiibo for Zelda Skyward Sword, that of the Loftwing, which is basically in the game. You can use the amiibo to kind of go between the land and the sky, teleporting, kind of save down time traveling between the two, if you will. Save points like if you're in a dungeon. It looks like you can kind of save your progress in the dungeon, leave the dungeon if you want to for whatever reason, and have a way to kind of teleport back to the dungeon when you've done whatever it is outside the dungeon that you're trying to do, or in the sky, whatever. So that's interesting. The bad thing about that, though, is amiibos always, I think, around $15 or so. This one, I think, is actually 25, so it's kind of more, as well as the fact that Skyward Sword HD, a lot of people aren't as high on Skyward Sword as other Zelda games. I liked it. But it's not my favorite Zelda game, but I did like it, and I'm looking forward to playing the HD remake, as I've only beat the game once on the Wii, and I never had an issue with the motion controls. I actually like the motion controls in the game, even though I normally hate motion controls. So that's not really an issue. It's just nice to be able to play it without having to deal with losing connection sometimes, as well as the fact that the controller eats batteries crazy quick. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that again. Since I've only beat it once, I'm sure I've forgotten a lot of the game. But yeah, as always though, that Nintendo is overcharging for that game with that, because they're charging a full $60, and for like a remake like that, it should only be like 20, 30. Well, 20 might be low, but like 30. Especially when you look at things like Crash Bandicoot, where you've had a collection, 3 games, and it was like that price, or something like Tony Hawk 1 and 2, I believe, was $40 and it's 2 games. Or Spyro was 3 games again, and I think it was like 50 or something. So when you're getting other companies releasing multiple games on a collection that's cheaper than one game, that's not right. As well as the fact those games were built from the ground up. But with that said, I'm still planning on getting Skyward Sword, and I look forward to playing it and going into E3 here soon. I have a lot of games to play. Coming out here, Biomutant came out today. I don't think my copies came in yet. Should be, though, today. Not have too much time to play, though, because I'm going to be watching a lot of sports here. But yeah, Biomutant came in. I plan on getting Scarlet Nexus, which also has Scarlet Nexus has a demo coming out on Friday, I believe, for PlayStation 4/PlayStation 5. Last week it came out on the Xbox, and I'm planning on getting the full game. That's in June. So in June I have Biomutant here at the end of May. In June I have Scarlet Nexus, Ratchet and Clank, which I absolutely cannot wait for, as well as Mario Golf. But yeah, going back so I'm going to be streaming Ratchet and Clank when it comes out here in a few weeks. Can't wait for it. And I was going to make a video a while back kind of talking about Ratchet and Clank, but I didn't. But going back to E3. Don't want to ramble on too much. Going back to E3, and kind of leading up to it here, we've had, like I said, we had the Skyward Sword amiibo and its function. We had Mario Golf getting a new trailer. We also had with Zelda, we had Age of Calamity, the Zelda spinoff, the first DLC, which is supposed to come out in June. We did find out the pre-order season pass bonus suit that you get, which is like a Guardians kind of blue suit that you get with that. So you get that for pre-ordering. I haven't pre-ordered the DLC. I probably will. Be interesting to see what's going to happen with that. So we've had that from Nintendo. There's also tomorrow at, I believe, 7 a.m. Monster Hunter direct of some sort. And then Thursday is really big. Thursday, we got a Sonic 30-year anniversary announcement show. I don't know how long that announcement show is going to be, but it's at 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. And it'll be interesting to see what Sega shows for the 30-year anniversary. You know, maybe we'll get a trailer or a teaser or something for Sonic 2 movie. I'm not sure. There's been a lot of rumors about Sonic Colors remake / remaster. So we might get that. If we get that, I think that would be pretty cool. There's been a lot of bad 3D Sonics, but Sonic Colors is one of the good ones. I never beat it, but I did play it and I liked it. I just got stuck on it on the Wii. So if that's true that we're getting that, that'd be cool. So that'd be it'd be nice to see that. I'm also hoping when it comes to Sonic that we get a Sonic Mania 2. Sonic Mania, fabulous, amazing game. Might be my favorite Sonic game that we've ever had. The original Sonic games were amazing as well. And Sonic Mania just kind of has that old school Sonic 1 through 3 feel to it, with kind of a mix of old levels kind of sort of changed a little bit, as well as some new levels and a great soundtrack. And yeah, I feel like it's time for Sonic Mania 2. I believe the first one came out in 2018 or something. So it's been 3 years or so. So I think it's time for that. So I'd like to see that. And then we also have that same day a big state of play for Horizon Forbidden West, which I cannot wait for. It sounds like we're going to get 20 minutes of some sort, 14 minutes of gameplay. So I'm assuming they're going to maybe show a trailer before the actual gameplay, or it could just be they're going to talk for a few minutes before the gameplay. But either way, we're getting 14 minutes of gameplay, and we haven't seen any of this game for 11 months, so almost a year since the PlayStation 5 reveal show back in June of 2020. So I'm looking forward to that a lot, especially because Horizon Zero Dawn is my favorite PlayStation game exclusive ever made. I thought it was that good, and the possibilities now with having underwater exploration and stuff adds a lot of opportunity to the game with different creatures and stuff. I'm hoping we'll get something like being able to fight like a shark like robot, or octopus like robot, or something, with maybe using like a harpoon or a torpedo or something. That would be awesome. So just the underwater stuff adds a lot of possibilities to it. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's also interesting with the PlayStation, and that's at 2 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday. It's interesting too because Sony that same day at 9 a.m., so 5 hours Pacific time, 5 hours before the Horizon Forbidden West State of Play, they're doing a countdown show, and they didn't really say too much about what's going to be in that, what that's going to entail. But it's interesting because I don't really know what to expect from the countdown show, and it starts at the same time, 9 a.m. as the Sonic thing. So I'm probably going to have to flip back and forth between Sonic and that around an hour or so after I get up, because I get up at 10 when I don't have to work. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do, because Sony's never really done like a pre-show for a state of play that's focusing on like a game. There's been sometimes you get pre-shows on things like the Video Game Awards, or I think maybe even when companies like Sony or Nintendo or whatever do like a big E3 thing, sometimes you have a pre-show before that, but we've never really had that with like a game. So I don't really know what to expect. And they didn't, like I said, go into a ton of detail with what they said about that. They just said like a unique countdown. So I don't really know what we should expect from that. Like I would, and that's a long time too, 5 hours. So it's like, what are you going to fill that 5 hours with? It almost makes me think maybe they could have some other announcements during that, and that could maybe be kind of treated as like an E3 show, where maybe you get stuff like a Silent Hill announcement or a Spider-Man 2 tease or something. But then at the same time, you would think if it was going to be something big like that, that they would kind of say something about that in their release on the PlayStation blog about the show, rather than just saying like a unique countdown. So that's why I don't really know if when I get much out of the countdown part or not. One thing I could see them doing perhaps is having some sort of like making of the first game or something during that pre-show, since the first, to kind of get you more hyped for the new one. But even if you do something like that, um, like a game development conference making of the game or whatever, that's not going to take 5 hours. So yeah, I don't really know what they're going to fill in there, and it's just like I said, the first time they've ever done anything like that. So I don't really know what to expect from that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that a lot, and that's kind of the big stuff for this week. The week's still not over though, obviously being only Tuesday, so we could still get more announcements tomorrow or Thursday or Friday or whatever for stuff to either happen this week or for stuff to happen next week, before E3. There are some more rumors going around though, as well, which kind of going back to Nintendo, which is so we know with E3 we haven't gotten any details from Nintendo yet, other than they're going to be at E3. So we don't really know if they're going to do like a Treehouse thing like they've done the last several years. We don't know if they're going to have a Nintendo Direct on day 1 or day 2 or 3 or 4 or what, or what they're going to do, if they're going to be there multiple days or what. We do know E3 is June 12th through June 15th. June 12th is a Saturday, so that's kind of interesting too. Because I believe previously E3 started, I think, on like a Thursday or Friday or something. So that's a little bit different, or maybe even been a Wednesday. But with Nintendo, the rumor that I started hearing about today, and shout out to like Samus Hunter, who also mentioned this in her tweet. She's someone I have heard has perhaps a inside connections with Nintendo or something, as I guess she has predicted a lot of Nintendo things correct in the past before they've officially been revealed by Nintendo. So it sounds like she has some credibility to her. And I guess she said something about Nintendo and E3, which is that with Nintendo and like its 35-year anniversary for Zelda, it's sounding like what Nintendo might do is one of those days might be just basically dedicated to like Zelda. So we might have one day where maybe we get a lot of Breath of the Wild 2 gameplay and trailers and developer talking and whatnot about the game, kind of a big blowout of Breath of the Wild 2, or maybe release day and stuff if it is indeed coming out this year, since we don't have release date. So yeah, they might do that, and then as well, if they're doing one day that's basically dedicated to Zelda, maybe also we'll get news about like Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask remake or remaster or whatever, or which is what I'm really hoping for, or Breath or a port of Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time, which I'm not as pumped for as I would be for Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, just because we've never had an HD Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. We've only had the remakes on the 3DS, so you're stuck to, standard definition still on a small screen. Where on the other hand, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, we've had the port to the Wii U, or we had the HD version on the Wii U. So I feel like because of that, it's not as important as Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask would be, but I know at the same time a lot of people, because the Wii U didn't sell well, are wanting that to be ported over, even if they don't make any more changes from the original Wii U version. So yeah, that's the big thing with Nintendo right now, rumor wise, is that we might have one E3 day for them dedicated just simply to like Zelda 35-year anniversary stuff and Breath of the Wild 2 update, which is interesting. So if that's true, we might see that, and then we might see another day where it's more of the rest of Nintendo stuff. So you might get the Zelda stuff one day, no matter if it's day 1, day 2, day 3, whatever. And then you might have the other day where Nintendo goes more into stuff like maybe a Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3 updates, and maybe if the rumors are true about new DK game. And the interesting thing with DK in particular is that it's been said that it's being made by the people that made Mario Odyssey, and there's been conflicting rumors saying that it's going to be 3D, and then other rumors saying it's going to be 2D. I personally rather have the 3D just because we've only had one 3D DK game compared to where we've had 5 country games plus like LAN games on the Game Boy Advance and stuff. So 3D has just been used way, way less. And it's been a long time since we got N64's DK. So I just feel like it's, overdue for Nintendo to give Donkey Kong another shot in 3D and then maybe go back to 2D after that. Just kind of mix things up a little bit rather than just, another 2D game, even though they've been, amazing games, the 2D Donkey Kong games. So yeah, So like I said, we could get one day where it's just more like the Donkey Kong and maybe a Mario Party 9, or not Mario Party. There is a rumor actually about Mario Party 2 or something, or like the second Mario Party on the Wii U or on the Switch, since we already have one on the Switch. But there are some rumors about Mario Kart 9 and whatnot. So we could get that. And then going back real quick to Horizon Forbidden West, since we're getting the 14 minutes of gameplay on Thursday at 2 o'clock, there had been some people still worried before this announcement that it was going to be delayed, since we've had so many games delayed this year, in particular because of COVID and the fact that a lot of people have had to work from home and whatnot over the last year or so. And a lot of people were worried that Horizon was going to fall into that. But the fact that we're getting this, I think, makes the chances of it being pushed to next year pretty slim. So I still think we have a great chance of getting Horizon Forbidden West this year. I'm thinking November. But it's also interesting because maybe it'll be even sooner. And the reason I say that is that Sony recently, seems like when they do like these kind of dedicated states of play, seems like they're only 4 to 2 months or so, 2 to 4 months or so before the game comes out. And if the game's not coming out till November, you're talking about almost 6 months, 5-6 months, depending on what part of November, from the state of play to the release. So that almost makes me think maybe it could be sooner than people are expecting. Maybe we could get Horizon Forbidden West in like September or something. I'm still thinking November, but that does kind of make me think there's maybe a chance at being September or something. If that's the case, I'll be pretty stoked, since I was already kind of assuming it would be an end of the year rather than kind of late summer type of release. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on here with E3 in the last few weeks leading up to it here and whatnot, and just kind of my general thoughts of leading into E3. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream as always. Thanks for tuning in. Comments below, subscribe as always, and let me know what you think about kind of the video itself, as well as what you think about the idea of maybe having one day where we get Zelda news during E3 pretty much, and then like another day where maybe Nintendo kind of talks about the other stuff that's not Zelda, if you think that's realistic, or signing news or whatnot, and just overall what you think when it comes to Horizon Forbidden West. Are you really excited like I am to get that gameplay on Thursday, as well as the Sonic 35-year anniversary? And what would you like to see in Sonic 35-year anniversary? As always, you can let me know that too. And just overall, what are you looking forward to, I guess, here, right? This week or two leading up to E3, as well as at E3 the most, if you want to do like a top 5 list or whatever. As always, thanks for tuning in, though. Later.